All right, so I don't know if I'm still allowed to ask questions anymore. People want to censor me, but since I'm still here this morning and I'm not suicidal and I would never harm myself or anyone else, uh, I'll just ask the question, right? Why isn't Lockheed Martin and Apex Systems, specifically Ram Blazer and Rob McGuckin, who's now at Oxford, why are these parties not being investigated for electromagnetic frequency weapons, organized stalking, anomalous health incidents, Havana syndrome, targeting, that sort of thing? So let's watch this video.
Is the continuing of the
then maybe we'll ask
Holocaust.
a question
It's a
at the end of
perfect
it.
weapon. You can make your
Now, he just said the continuing of the Holocaust. Yeah, these are invisible weapons, guys. You can't see them. And to pontificate, I think it maybe is the right word. I'm not sure. But to suggest that this type of weaponry does not exist is ignorant at this point, just based on the disclosures at the highest level of government admitting to these types of weapons. What they're not admitting to is how these weapons are being used on a mass scale against the public in a variety of formats. And if you know your history, right, about the government programs like Artichoke and Bluebird and MK Ultra, and specifically what they were doing with frequencies and vaccines and mind control or trauma-based mind control, and with the disclosures of these
enemy
weapons.
kill himself.
Anyway,
This is psychological warfare. I can't identify my captor, but I know I'm in some kind of a mental prison.
These victims will tell you that in addition to the reported symptoms, they are being physically zapped, seemingly by directed energy on the inside and outside of the body. These zaps can create pain and limb movement. They are attacks that react in real time to their thoughts. These symptoms are known as electronic harassment. Other victims report that in addition to strange noises, they have round-the-clock voices talking to them in their head, voices that react to their thoughts and spoken word. These voices typically say some of the most vile and evil things.
Sometimes you just get prosecuted by the state of Connecticut out of GA11 for bringing it up. I think that was the courthouse. I don't know. Who gives a shit? But, you know, they want to call me a threatening person or someone who threatened violence and this and that. But nobody's investigating these remote, invisible
Say to
weapons,
a person,
right?
threats of rape, murder, attacks on loved ones, or things to create paranoia, humiliation, and ridicule, usually a combination of all of the above. These attacks are known as
And so if you're familiar with the Martha Mitchell effect, look that one up. These people are stupid. They follow a script and a playbook, and they call you crazy, and everyone just calls you crazy. I mean, again, these weapons are designed to make the individual reporting them sound crazy, which is even more fucked up when you think about it. You know, like, these are designed weapons to do this. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, the Martha Mitchell effect, and I say they're stupid because their reporting process is to make you have a mental health evaluation so that you report it and that you sound crazy, you know, reporting it, which exactly, you know, I was forced in handcuffs to have a mental health evaluation at St. Francis in 2016 against my will, in handcuffs. You know what I mean? Because I tried to report this to a police officer, Officer Joe in Hartford. Awesome. Nice job, Joe. But that's what I mean. These people are stupid. Every time you bring it up, whatever, you have mental health issues, and we're going to ignore, you know, what you're saying. It's a way to
V2K, or
discredit
voice to
the
skull,
person who's
and in many
reporting it.
cases seem to be computer generated. Sometimes these
Fun fact, computer generation. If you look up the lawsuits that involve AI, right, telling people to kill themselves or harm other people, there are many, okay? And some proven in fact. So I think it was last year, maybe, look up the cases, but AI is specifically programmed to psychologically manipulate the user into doing fucked up shit.
voices will pose
Now,
as
why
God
would AI
or some
do
demonic
that?
spirit, which encourages the victim
Look
to
it up.
carry out acts of violence, murder, or self-harm.
And they probably didn't get the response they wanted from the targets, right? As much as they thought they would. Although, arguably, the technology is supremely effective in the sense that you have people just using AI fucking
Woke
chat
up
tools
Friday,
and doing
October 5th,
messed up shit.
2018
Well,
with loud, crystal clear, audible voices. It's absolute full ownership of your auditory cortex.
This technology allows to pipe in voices into
don't worry, I'm sure biodigital convergence and the
It's
Georgia
like
Guidestones
utter
have nothing to do
paralyzing
with this.
confusion and terror. Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it seems like you're hearing this voice and it's criticizing you and it's making these horrible remarks on you, and it comes out of nowhere.
It just sounded like having a cell phone call with somebody, but it's directly in your head. At first, it'd make me talk out loud to them as they were.
So, just a segue here, a little sidebar tangent. Have you guys heard of the DARPA N3 program? Because now would be a fantastic time to go look up what that is specifically. Something to do with neurosurgery, remote, right? Remote neurosurgery, remotely done to cure cancer, to do brain surgery, fix dementia. I don't know. That's how they're marketing it with the DARPA N3 program.
Talking to my head, and then I realized
Because
that they
DARPA's
could
so
literally, I
credible.
just have to think, and now we have like conversations completely like in my own head with them.
Yeah.
Silent, which is bizarre.
I was also manipulated by V2K, pretending to be God. For me, that's been one of the hardest things I've had to deal with. So it took a while for me to get my faith back. So it's very dangerous.
The V2K was saying that they were going to kill my mother and my pets. And they were going to kill me and make it look like it was a suicide.
They have the ability to hit us with
Now, they would never do something like that if you're related or affiliated with the Clintons, right? They would never say a death looked like, let's say an accident on the train tracks in Arkansas because the coroner, when clearly they were stabbed and shot, right? I mean,
frequencies.
It's not like
Anything
they follow a
from,
stupid playbook.
please go kill yourself, or you deserve every bit of this.
It's very apparent that the voice that you're hearing has no good intentions for you. To belittle you, to denigrate you, to hurt you, to terrify you, to make you panic, to make you confused, and you just start to lose your grasp